I guess it's not. Okay, let's get started. Who here believes it's October 4th already? I cannot believe it's October 4th already. How time flies. It's ridiculous. So successful people do what unsuccessful people are not willing to do. Don't wish it were easier, wish you were better. And that's the truth. Right? So I know we're in a changing market. Changing and challenging are not synonymous, right? So just because it's changing and we have to adapt a little does not mean that you can't be successful in any market. We have a lot of agents in this office who are still doing amazing this year. Mara's on track to do what she did last year, which is amazing for an individual agent. I wish I could share the number with you, but I will not. The lead team is up drastically from where they were last year, and they thought last year was a great year. So they're having, again, a knockout year. Vin Dotwani's having an amazing year. He's already overdoing what he did last year, which we thought was a great year for him. So again, you have to think about how to overcome and adapt in a different market. That's all it is. And it's about getting back to basics. Real estate 101 is huge in this market, huge in this market. So birthdays this month. We have Linda Bronfman, who was, her birthday was this past Sunday, October 2nd. Neil, whose birthday was October 3rd, which was yesterday, actually. So if you haven't reached out to him yesterday, reach out to him today. He looked so cute last week at the Circle of Excellence Gala. In fact, I'll have pictures next week, so I'm still waiting for one of the agents to send me pictures from it. But we had a lot of fun. Dante Pasquale is in 2 days. Dante's birthday month starts in 2 days, right? John LaBar, October 9th. Bob Falzerano, October 12th. Terry Dearness, October 15th. I find that so funny that they're so close and their birthdays are all within days apart. And I think they like all started around the same time too. Vikram, October 16th. Kunal, October 18th. Joanna Albanese, October 20th. Ejaz, October 26th. And Stacy Garibaldi, October 30th. So we have a lot of October birthdays. Happy birthday, everyone. And anniversaries for the month, we have Carrie Chuck, Mallory Doherty, Madeline Lipkin, Melissa Kostovsky, and Amanda Tofik. That's it. Everybody's going, who? For all of those. I know them all, by the way, just so you know. So our office award winners for, you know, down a little bit. Office award winners for September. We have top producers for teams. We have the lead team. We have Lanny and Debbie and the Troutman team. So congratulations. Nice. And Peter did that for Florida. That's what we all try to attain. We want to be away from New Jersey and have an amazing month, right? Yes. Well, no, you 100% are busier when you're away. I always tell agents, if you want to have a great career, plan a vacation once a month. Because everybody will call you the minute you're stepping on a plane or ready to go walk out the door. Top producers for dollar volume for the month. We have Mara Glauberg, Gloria LaForgia, and Christina McCarthy. So Christina and her husband joined us at the Circle of Excellence last week. And anybody who knows Christina knows she has the best personality. She's loads of fun. Well, normally you're matched with someone who's opposite of you, right? It's the yin and yang. That's how couples. He's just like her. He was so much fun. I don't know how it happened. She's like, we're like best friends, like buddies. Like we just do everything. It's like they just think the same. So congratulations to them. And then our top 10, Mara, Gloria, Christina, Catherine Adcock, Cheryl Towie, Deb Reagan, Bob Falzerano, Tabitha Williams, Terry Dearness, and Lori Kaplan. Congratulations for a great month in September. Congratulations, everyone. And then listings, top teams. We have Michael Elms team. Lanny and Debbie and the lead team. Notice how the team members are here. They're the doctors and the nurses, right? They just don't get the credit. So congratulations, you guys. for a top, for a great month. And then listings individuals, we have Mara, Vin, and Catherine Adcock. So great month again. Sales for teams, the lead team. And sales for individuals, Gloria LaPortia, Deb Reagan, and Tabitha Williams. So I'd love to see new faces because everybody has the same opportunity. Each month is a new start. Each year is a new start. So congratulations. And then White Relay Network volume and dollar volume in units, Cheryl Towns. So congrats, Cheryl. That's because she went away. See what happens when you go away? You get on the board. So some office updates. Getting ready for 2023, so it's that time of year. We will be planning our business planning meeting probably in late October, early November. And that's when we get together, we complete our business plan. I know a lot of you, especially the seasoned agents, think it's repetitive, but it is so important to just go over what you need to be doing every day. The great part about the business plan is that it just reminds you and refreshes you. Oh my God, this is things I should be doing every day, right? We all need a refresher. We all need a reminder. In fact, on my accountability call this morning, I spoke about how, you know, a lot of us are walking around in what we call a real estate coma, almost like a fog, trying to figure out where we're going and what we're doing and how do we get out of that. So it's a great way to get refreshed. We have 86 days left till 2023. That's not a lot. It's going to go by super fast, especially because we have a lot of holidays sprinkled in there, right? So the world slows down once we get towards the holidays. So again, we have very limited time left. Let's make the most of each day moving forward until we get to 2023 so we can have a great year. Calls with Kevin. Anyone who's ever witnessed our training when Kevin makes phone calls, it's amazing. Kevin just will make the phone calls right there in front of you, talk to people. It's on speaker. You hear how he handles objections. He's so calm and cool, but he's practiced his dialogue for a long time, and that's why he is who he is. So next Tuesday, he's going to do a call with Kevin at 6 o'clock. He will be in the office for anybody who wants to be in the office, and we're also going to have it via Zoom. So it's going to be both, because we had a lot of the dual career agents asking for to have a session with Kevin. So Kevin's going to be on next Tuesday. So there's a Zoom meeting. What I'm probably going to do is next week send you 2 Zoom meetings because it only goes for 45 minutes. The free session only goes for 45 minutes, so I'll do it back to back. So if we need more time, then we just all get kicked off at one time and we just all jump on the next one. I thought it was easier than trying to get everybody to set up on Teams, so. And then our trunk or treat event is official. Yesterday, we got the green flag that we can move forward with insurance. The only thing they said we can't do is have alcohol there. So anyone who wants to serve alcohol to little children in Halloween costumes, this event is not for you, okay? All the Jeffrey Dahmers and the John Gacy's should not be at our trunk or treat. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be in our parking lot. You know, everybody comes with their own car. You decorate your trunk and the kids just walk around from trunk to trunk to trunk to trunk. We're going to get a sign to put on like Route 10 area so that we really market it. We're going to go over to Starbucks, see if they'll put something out there for us, and anybody else who knows anybody in the area who'll be willing to put up a sign just to get more people. But Laura's putting together a social media post for you and an email template so you can reach out to your sphere, your past clients, you know, everybody that you know. It'll be a community event. It'll be fun, and it's Sunday, October 30th from 11 to 2. And then my Wiker training, Laura's gonna just push it out till next week because we have a lot going on today. So after the meeting today, Anthony's doing a lunch and learn, as everybody knows. So we'll start our My Wiker training after the meetings, or at 12:30 on Wednesdays moving forward. And then next Thursday is our axe throwing team building activity. Yes, all under one roof. So it's from 5 to 7 at Stumpy's Hatchet House in Fairfield. Please note, closed-toe shoes are required, okay? As much as your body as you can cover will be appreciated, okay? So I hope you'll join us. We always have such a great time when we're out there together. And then when we tell everybody about it afterwards, they wish they came, so just be there. Don't wish you came, just come out and have fun with the team. Probably with Stumpy's. I'm sure Stumpy's is gonna make you. Yeah, I might make you, depending on how you feel about me that week. I don't know. And then Super Sales Series presents, so part of our Wyckoff Reimagined, you know, they're looking at our Wyckoff University, and they feel that a lot of the content that they put out is sort of been repetitive, right? And so they want to change it up and freshen things up. So that's part of their focus moving forward. And so I think it's a great way to start with refreshing is having Tom Prairie speak. It's a live webinar. Tom will be speaking himself, and it is just for our Wyckoff agents, okay? So it's going to be in place of our office meeting in 2 weeks. So instead of a Wednesday office meeting, we'll have a Tuesday one like today, and we will be here together watching the webinar. So save the date, October 18th at 10 a.m. and discover what you should be doing right now to build your business in today's market. It's an appropriate time for us to get to reimagine what our business is going to look like in the future and what activities we need to do moving forward to get to where we want to go. So make sure you put that in your calendars for sure. And then our Light the Night is coming up. It's 2.5 weeks away. So that's in Morristown. It's about a 1 mile walk. So if anybody is worried about the walking part, it's very minimal. It's really about supporting Kelly, her husband, and anyone that you know that ever fought, you know, or survived cancer or did not survive cancer, right? That's what it's all about. So we're getting together. We have a group of us. I hope to see more people sign up. To walk is free. But obviously anything that you can participate, any kind of dollar amount that you can participate goes to help the fight for cancer and leukemia and lymphoma. So 4:30, it's at 4:30. And then it's right in Morristown, so we were hoping to, as a group, to go over and maybe get a drink or a bite or something together. Just make it a fun night. So don't forget and put that on your calendar. Continuing education classes, everybody knows that you have to satisfy your CE credits by April 30th of 2023, which again is coming up super fast. It's you know, our cycle runs every other year on the odd year, okay? So this is the year that you have to satisfy your credits. If you don't know whether you satisfied your credits or you don't know how many credits you satisfied, just let me know. I'll send you the link for PSI. That's how you check. I cannot check for you. Unfortunately, they don't give me access to the agents in my office to check, so I'm unable to do that. But you know, you'll be able to, once I send you the link, just check to see what you need and what you don't need. There's a few ways to get it. The Wyckoff School of Real Estate is holding classes at least once a month right now. There's Zoom and virtual, right? They're right here in the university. And it satisfies all your credits because now you need 1 fair housing, 2 ethics, 6 core, and 6 elective, right? Fair housing and what was the other one? Fair housing and what was it 2? I said ethics. Thank you. Fair housing and ethics fall under core. So, huh? No, they're doing it in Wyckoff University. They're doing it right here in the building. Yeah, that one's a Washington Township one, just because it goes out to everybody, but they're doing it here once a month, at least, in the Wyckoff University portion of our building. 2 days, $99, 6 hours each day. If you go on to schoolofrealestate.com, right, you can register right there. You'll see when their classes are, and then you can enroll right there and figure out which dates work best for you. So they have upcoming dates for the next few months out there, okay? So it's schoolsofrealestate.com, or you click on this link here, okay? And then this way you can satisfy that one. So the 3 credits, the fair housing and the 2 ethics, actually fall under your core credits, okay? So then you just need 3 additional core credits and 6 elective, which is any kind of credits, in order to satisfy what you need moving forward, okay? So don't forget that you need that. Wyckoff Title is also doing free once a month. They're doing free credits as well. But again, you have to manage those, okay? Because you have to make sure you have everything that you need. So as long as you're able to do that, that's a good way to get it as well. And then you can always go on to the CE shop and you can go on and you can take them as you feel. They're just modules. The difference with a module and a live class is a module, you have to take a test at the end because they want to make sure you're paying attention. A live class, there is no testing at the end because they, because it was a live class. So that's the difference between the classes, just so you know. Then our record reimagine, refer and earn program, the dream of building your wealth by simply doing what comes natural. So we are fortunate in this office that I had 4 referrals in the last week. I thanked everyone last week at our meeting that referred someone. And I actually hired someone this week from Compass. So again, that agent who referred them is going to, get some residuals every time they have a closing, as long as they're both here. So a great way. So anybody that you're working with, in this case, this agent was working with this other agent, thought they'd be a great fit for the office. They got along great. They teed up the whole conversation. They called me. It was like 5:30, 6 o'clock at night. And like, listen, this person is available right now. Can you call them and talk to them? They're interested in meeting with you. And that's how it all went down. So it's just as easy as passing along a warm referral and, a great way to sort of build a residual business along with your real estate business. Anthony. I try to get you on so that I'm not rushing you. I always feel horrible when I'm rushing you at the end.
Update on the market as we should do. Personal spending grew a bit more than expected, and the accompanying inflation indicator trended higher. Final revision of the second quarter growth number showed no change at the negative 0.6 growth rate. In the mortgage rate world, it was a very volatile week as rates spiked early in the week in response to economic trauma emanating from the United Kingdom. But the Bank of England stepped in and added assurances to counteract actions that the market interpreted inflationary. Bottom line was rates ended just slightly higher from the early then started. What's happening this week? The most important is the jobs report coming this Friday, so I'll keep you guys posted on that. There will also be readings on the manufacturing sector, including factory orders. You can see that rates kind of hanging up there close to almost 7%, which is crazy. 10 years kind of trickled down over like the last few days, which is a good thing. So it's kind of pulling back rates a little bit. It's stated on the end of last week, so we'll kind of see what happens. But it's Friday, it's not with you never know what's going to happen with the job. So we'll keep you guys posted.
So are we at that number now, or are we close to that
So it's
number?
kind of done this and kind of done that, so we're kind of still hanging in that number. There's a lot of talk. We have a meeting coming up, so I'm not going to get into buy downs like we did last week. We're going to talk about that this afternoon. But just as a reminder regarding buy downs, paying points, etc., sellers contributing to that. And that's where a lot of the buy down discussion is kind of derived from. But just remember, there's caps on seller concessions, right? So if you're, we have columns kind of listed there for conformity, LTVs, now FHA and VA. Just remember that if you're buying a house that's over 90% on a conventional loan, you're only allowed 3% of the seller concession to contribute. It's either that or the closing cost, whichever is less. So I was on the phone with a customer last night. I was asking how some inspections went, and he told me what was going on. They put a request for like $12,000. Well, I didn't hear that from the agent. Luckily, I was talking to the buyer, but that's more than his closing costs are. So he will never be able to get that amount of money. So there's something has to get creative there. Either we lower our price, maybe there's a reduction that way. Maybe the attorneys can work something out. So you got to keep that in mind. Like if it's an FHA loan, you're allowed up to 6%. So if it's a $400,000 price point at 6%, it's $24,000. Closing costs are not $24,000 typically, right? So what happens in those situations? Everybody's got to kind of get creative. Either sometimes we lower the price of the house and give a concession because the buyer's entitled to that, right? But a lot of times, if you don't tell your lender, i.e. me or whoever you're working with at that time, they don't know. Everybody negotiates everything. Also, the letter goes out that says a seller concession is out for $15,000, but it can't fully be applied. Sometimes a buyer will lose that difference of whatever that amount of money is. So you've always got to let everybody know, and don't always assume that the buyer's either having a conversation with the lender or even that the attorney's sending that letter out until it's fully executed. So you always want to, before everybody makes a final decision, find out what that lender, what the max seller concession could be. So whether we're talking about buy downs later and sellers potentially using that as a credit for the buyer to buy down, or just home inspection stuff that you guys are working out, those are important. Because you got to figure for like most of the stuff, if it's a $400,000 or $500,000 house, that number is going to be, let's say, 12 to 14 to 15,000, kind of like an average. So it depends on kind of the situation, but keep in mind, like as a buyer pays for the appraisal, that comes off. If a buyer already prepays the insurance, maybe not through Whitehurst and through someone else, they're already prepaying that outside, that comes off that final number too as well. So they might start at 12 and end up at 10. They're trying to get a seller concession for 12 or 13. There could be $2,000 to $3,000 that they're leaving on the table. And sometimes that has happened. Some attorneys don't want to really play ball, kind of work things out. So it kind of gets a little tough. So I would always recommend whenever you're working on a concession or inspection issues, definitely bring your lender into the queue as far as what's going on, what's the situation. It's really critical because you could find out everybody kind of works out that deal already and they're done. Everything's kind of been happening. It might have taken place weeks ago. We're going to clear the file for closing and the letter goes, oh, here's the letter for the seller concession. You didn't get it. I didn't know you didn't have it. And now it's like you're going back to the seller, going, we need to rework numbers, we need to change things, we need to potentially lower our price. So these things are really important. I've sent these out numerous times, but this just came up on the slides this week. You can see as the LTVs or the loan to values kind of drop, the increase of the concession is allowed, but very rarely are you able to kind of hit that 6% number. It's just a question of the week, Can the seller pay for 5% of closing costs of a VA loan? A, the answer is no. It is above the allowable 4%. B, yes, you can pay all closing costs on a VA loan. C, depends upon whether the costs are above 4% or customary and allowable. Or D, can't determine. So the key is VA loan. Is that? Anything else? Answer is A.
Hey.
It was.
Oh,
I
you're
guess no
paying
one saw it.
attention.
There you go. Any questions on anything else? We're gonna talk about buy downs. We're gonna get into a lot more today, talking about points this afternoon too as well. Just kind of differences in how they function, just strategic ways from how it works for buyers, how it can benefit sellers. We've kind of touched on it a little bit the last few weeks, but it should be a good meeting today. And we're starting to see a lot more of this on social media. Other lenders are promoting this too as well, to really try and help drive lower payments for the buyers for at least a shorter period of time, to hope that there's a refinance option, after this is all kind of over. Because I'm getting a lot of calls where buyers are still active in the market, but the end of the conversation we have is, I'm not going to make an offer on the house. We're going to decide not to go in on this. And you can see it's very deflating of them, right? So everybody's trying to get overly creative right now in this market. What we could do, what could happen. I talked to a buyer last night and she's just like, the house is gorgeous, but next door, area is not exactly what I'm looking for. And so what do you tell them? Make the offer anyway, go ahead and buy it, but there's multiple offers under it. Some people, I said, right, I paint the picture, I go, some people might be in a very similar position to you and they've had enough. They don't want to deal anymore and they're willing to kind of close their head inside the house and outside the house and they're okay. And they're not really worried about what's necessarily next door. And there's obviously a bunch of people because there's multiple offers in home in West Orange. So I mean, those buyers are still out there. They're still active.
Oh, yeah. I talked to an agent yesterday who said that they, home Parsippany, multiple offers. They had to have their offer in by yesterday afternoon. And they just saw it this weekend. Still multiple offer situations.
I just got a call from the agent this morning, a buyer that didn't want to do a pre-approval last week because he's looking, right, and doesn't want to go through the exercise. And of course, he wants to go see a house today, that's been final by 6 o'clock already. So she's like, are you available? Can we set up? I'm like, great to take care of this next week versus us scrambling now this afternoon. I'm going to make you available. So all the more reason to have people ready, pre-approved, understanding the market, we can update them live time. Let's get a, second call or whatever we can do.
Ara?
The cover of the Frickin Daily Record this morning, I saw it at me, that Marcy County home rates are down 17%. And so there's that push-pull between the house this week and the granddaughter that my clients want already has 5 offers on it, but then the news media is telling them, right? Like,
That's a good segue into my next section of our meeting, actually. It's about you as a professional, as a consultant, knowing what the market is about, keeping on top of the news, and bringing in the positive news and not that negative news. It's so important about how we present our business and what we do, and knowing exactly where the market is, being the experts and being the voice of our neighborhoods and our community.
I didn't see the article, Marilyn. I don't know if you're thinking, what do they mean, 70%?
They're putting all the statistics and,
So values down? or-
yes, pricing, prices have gone, I don't know what they're using.
Yeah, what are they-
Bergen County was down 22%, Essex County is down X%, and I'm like, where? I'm not seeing
That would be,
that.
so you have like 600,000 houses are now being sold at 40.
Which is not right.
Where they-
County, it was like just in general, I'll have to find it, like what it's facing or what it's moving. I was getting my coffee, I saw the headline.
She was miserable.
Oh, God. All I'm doing right now for the last 5 minutes as she was talking is picturing her walking at me like, all happy, and then coming out like, God damn, like ready to fight. It's not real. It's not real. Only Howard reads it, so don't worry. Only Howard's reading it. He's the only one who reads the paper still. We're safe. We're safe. Well, right, but that's what you can't advise, because that person who came 60,000 over, you don't know their motivation and what happened to them to the last 5, 10, 20 houses that they went on, or where they need to be. It costs me nothing, that's what I'm saying. No, you don't know. You can't advise them. You cannot, it's horrible to say, as a professional, I'm sorry, I can't advise you on what price to come in at. Because I don't know the motivation of other clients, how much they're willing to put in. I've seen people come in at crazy numbers, and so I can't advise you in that way. And that's when I go into the silent auction thing. Have you ever been to a silent auction? You know, you're putting a price, you're putting your bid based on what that item or object means to you. That's what you're doing. That's the same way you have to go in there. Silent and blind. Yes, yes. Betsy.
They're not accepting. Correct. All right, and why would they, right? When this person paid $2,000 more than the other offer, right?
But I think that if you, there's three different buyers in that. The buyer that lost 15 houses so far, that's 8 months, rates are rising, mommy, that's what we'll give you extra money, get out of the house. That's the buyer that.
That's where Barbara's going.
That's the buyer that wins. And then you have,
Yeah.
but I mean, that's the buyer that wins, and then you have the buyer that wins that asks. Right?
Yeah.
And at that point, as well, they're like, well, let's see where that comes to go. And then you have a buyer going, I read the news, market.
I watched the Daily Record today, so I'm coming in. 60,000 under, yeah. Yeah, true. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Oh, I agree that, I agree.
You should know.
Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would say if I had a crystal ball, you know, I'd be a healthy person.
Betsy, do you still want to speak?
But I think that, you know, I like the approach of showing them they're young professionals. They're thinking, you know, and it's based on numbers.
That's what you have to do. You have to show them. You have to actually print out listings, write really big, 60,000 plus, 20,000 plus, 25,000 plus. It doesn't matter though, in a way, because you're saying it's happening yesterday. So you can't even say. Yes. 100%. 100%. Just like we used to tell them in a normal market when they were like, no, we're going to wait till the spring to list our market, but it was the fall. And you were like, yeah, but in the spring you have so much more competition. People need to buy every time of the year, right? People are moving, relocating, getting married, divorcing, having babies, whatever it is, whatever their motivation is, every day of the year. It's not just in the spring. In the spring, I feel probably the motivation is more about school systems and getting your child in school for the next, for September. That's what people are looking at. But I think, people are always moving, and the same thing right now. It's always going to be, there's always going to be people out there buying, regardless of the interest rate, regardless of what's going on in the economy, regardless of our environment, they need to buy. It's not going to stop. It's never going to stop. So it's just about having that information. Mhm. I know. We saw the inventory. We thought it's gonna be so much more inventory in this fall, and we're not seeing that at all. So new opportunities in today's changing market. What are new market opportunities? So new opportunities always represent the ability to put together information that other people don't notice. The more information that you can take in and process, the more likely you are to spot an opportunity before it even becomes a trend. The most obvious market opportunities will come from your customers. So what does that mean? It means that if you're on top of what's going on in your market and you're engaged with your clients and with buyers and sellers and doing open houses and talking to people and getting information from them, you're going to be able to think outside the box and be able to find opportunities for your clients. So for instance, I was talking to agents the other day saying, there's a handful of people right now who have started making phone calls, right? They started making phone calls. They don't like it. They hate it, but they're doing it, right? It doesn't matter. They're doing it is the most important thing. And what's happening with that? They're getting appointments. More people are talking to them, okay? They're revising their dialogue, they're talking to people. And then people say, come out and take a look at my house. And so now they're getting out to more houses, but those people aren't really ready right now, right? So those people are just dipping their toes in the water and saying, let me see, it might be 3 years out, it might be 5 years out, it might be a year out. What do I do? I'm running around like crazy now, meeting with these people, but nobody's actually ready. So again, that's a great problem to have because you're getting in front of people, you're building relationships, you have so many more opportunities. Maybe their friend or family member is going to be thinking of selling or buying, and now you're on top of mind. Maybe you're doing an open house this weekend and you meet a buyer and they're like, I know what house I want, but it's just not coming on the market. Now you have a pocket listing, a true pocket listing that's not out there that maybe you can introduce these two, right? And put something together. If they're willing to pay a certain price and you know what price point this person is willing to take to move. Like you just have so many more opportunities if you are out there doing the things you need to do. So if you're doing the activities, you're going to get the knowledge, you're going to talk to more people, and you're going to be able to think outside the box and then have those opportunities for people. So, so that's number one. And then what are the current market trends for 2022? Yes, we're heading at the end of 2022, but the major trends for advertising for 2022 include multi-channel marketing, right? Which is doing multiple things, not just one, maybe having a billboard and sending out a postcard monthly and being big on social media, right? A few things at once so that you're constantly relevant to your market area. Social media and content marketing, including live content and short form videos, right? So I started doing videos, talk about this all the time because I said to you guys, that's where the future is going. If you listen to Tom Ferry, you listen to any of these gurus out there, these leaders, they're saying everybody has to be on video, right? And so that's what you have to do. Last week's video, I got 8,000 views. I'm still in shock. I think an old man was sitting on his, I don't know, playing it over and over again. I don't know what happened last week. Or some mom was like, I want to put my baby to sleep. I'm just going to play this one over and over again. I don't, but again, it's doing it in like, you can't, it's a half hour of your time. It should only be unless there's glitches with Instagram and all this stuff. But it's just about getting out there and showing people that you are the expert in your market. Don't worry about what you look like. Don't worry about what you sound like. You know, we could sit here and we can talk about how horrible things are, you know, when we look at ourselves in the mirror every single day. That's how we are, especially women, right? We're so critical of ourselves. But just do it. Just do it. Just keep doing things and then be consistent with whatever you decide to do. Be consistent. Maybe you just go out to eat once a week and you want to just, you know, highlight that a restaurant once a week. Like it could be as simple as that. Maybe you love going to Wegmans or you love going to Trader Joe's. Like make that your weekly thing or your daily, you know, every 2 weeks or whatever. Just do something that's going to get you out there little by little by little. And again, you look like what you look like. You sound like what you sound like. I don't know how else to say it, right? There's no way to change it. There are filters, though. I found filters last week, okay? Really cool. You find a filter, it's game changing. It's really like, then you have to worry about when people really see you in real life, then that becomes your fear, okay? Besides them seeing you out there. So, yeah, just get yourself out there. When the economic uncertainty dust settles, those buyers and sellers who were on the sideline will jump back in the housing game. Demographic trends support elevated purchase demand in the years to come. So it's not a question of when, not if, for the housing market. So it's going to happen, right? It's not if, it's when, right? It's going to happen. So there's a lot of people on the sidelines who are waiting it out because of all the uncertainty that's out there. This is the news that Mara this is what Mara saw this morning when she walked in to get a cup of coffee really quickly. All of a sudden her world came crashing down, right? It was the worst thing she could have seen. So
Not yesterday's phone.
in times of uncertainty, people follow the certain. So what does that mean again? Meaning you need to be the voice of reason. You need to be the voice of professionalism. You need to be the voice in your community of who you are. This is what you love to do. I know you're all passionate. So put that passion into work and make it part of what you do every single day and be optimistic and not the negativity that we see all over the news. So the root issue of what drives house prices almost always is supply and demand, correct? Right? So active inventory is increasing dramatically. Now, we haven't seen it, so to say, but because we don't see as many homes on the market, but if you have seen as many sold, the amount of homes that sold is up. So that means that the active homes had to come on and then they had to sell. But the ones that are, the good ones are going like this, right? And then the ones that aren't so great or priced too high or not reasonable or realistic, those are the ones that are sitting. So that's what we're focusing on. Again, focus on the positive and not the negative. Showing now below last year levels. So people aren't showing, right? The buyers, a lot of our buyers have dropped off. Last year, people were like, I have so many buyers, I don't know what to do anymore. I can't handle it anymore. And now we're all looking for buyers again, right? It's shifted. Supply and demand changing quickly. So again, showings and active listings are changing, right? So what's ahead for home prices? The home price forecast, this is an average of what they thought we were going to see for 2022. The average is 11.3%, right? I think that's pretty, especially with, you know, the first half of the year, I think that's pretty reasonable forecast to say, or what would actually happen this year. Ivy Zelman projects US house prices will fall 4% in 2023, and then another 5% decline in 2024. So, again, that's one person who thinks that there's gonna be a negative impact on our market, where the average forecast for 2023 is about 2.5%. And what is 2.5%?
Who is I?
It's just another guru, another, economist, you know, that speaks what's going on. So 2.5%, what does that say to you? That's a normal market. 2.5% is a normal market. It's not low, it's not bad, it's not negative, it's a normal market. 2.5% to 5%, I would say, is what a home should appreciate in a normal year, right? Not 9%, not 10%, not 20%, not 30%. So again, we're still seeing a appreciation moving forward in our market. And then percent change in home prices. So again, we're more focused on New Jersey, obviously, because that's where we are. And I will tell you right now, when I can see it, 24.7% negative. So meaning that we're not going to see, and that does not mean the prices are going to drop. It means we're not going to see the pricing we did before. We talk about this all the time, right? If someone sold in your neighborhood and they put their house on for $650 in the first half of the year and got $800, $825, and you're going on a listing appointment tomorrow for a neighbor's house, they should not be listing at $825. They should be listing around $650, right? Maybe a little more, maybe they have a little bit more amenities, maybe they don't. And let the market drive them to where it's gonna go, because then they're gonna get more money. So I've seen it in 2 instances in this office, where there was a house that sat for over 2 weeks. They reduced the price, and then they got multiple offers, and the multiple offers drove them to the original price they had or a little more. So if you price it appropriately, you're going to get that number. If you try to push the market's going to push back and you're not going to see results. So again, it's just the way that we deliver this message to our clients. So 3 reasons why prices probably won't crash. Solid underwriting, right? So we don't have predatory lending like we did back in the early 2000s. Prices tend to be sticky downwards unless they are forced sale. And inventory is still historically low. So because of those reasons, we probably won't crash, which we're not going to see a crash, right? We've already realized we're not going to see a crash. So what do these numbers mean? 41, 12, 29.5. Did anybody guess what they would be? What did you say, Vin, that Wani? Yearly salary. U.S. households own 41 trillion in owner-occupied real estate, just over 12 trillion in debt, and the remaining 29 trillion in equity. Think about that, right? That's a lot of equity, which we haven't seen in the past. The national LTV, loan to value, is in quarter 2, 2022, was 29.5%, the lowest since 1983. So more people have less debt and more money and more equity. Homeowners had an average of 320,000 in inflation-adjusted equity in their homes in quarter 2 of 2022, an all-time high. So again, more people have more equity in their homes than ever before. So, any questions with all of that, or any? So again, guys, just remember, you have to be the optimist. You have to be the voice in your community, in your neighborhood. When you're having conversations with people, it can't be the negative, newsy type of conversation. You have to be positive, Polly, or whatever, positive, Patty, I don't know. But just be that person. It's all about mindset and how you deliver the information. So again, here we see week over week. So Morris Plains, their inventory is up about 4. I think it's all their new construction, but Parsippany's up. Hanover's about the same. East Hanover is up a little bit. But the absorption rate is still the same. We're still have the same, under 2 in most towns. Once in a while, we'll see a blip in a town like Rockaway Township this week, and then next week it'll readjust itself back to like a normal rate. It just always happens to a town every once in a while. Denville's down, Randolph is down, Rockaway Township is up, Movement is down in inventory, so it's mixed across the board in these towns. Morris Township is up, Morristown is down, Montville is up, Madison is the same, and Chatham is down. So these are the numbers for, this week. And the absorption rate again is under 2 in most cases. So office listings. Anyone have, I don't think we have new listings on the market this week. I think we just have exclusives coming on. Yes,
I have 35 action on this weekend, because I think that's being totally updated by level. Actually, very well.
move away. There is.
There.
There.
Non-paid, but some of them.
Go backwards. Mary, you want to talk about 361? 361 West Mountain Court. Okay. And then Dennis has we did a Parsippany coming on as an exclusive, Carlos Patio 389 Lincoln Avenue, Newark. She talked about it last week. And Ben,
They have a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. House section. Under the price of 600. But they're like exclusive signs. Oh, yeah, monthly.
anyone else have any new listings coming on, coming soon, exclusive Ben?
I think the rental listing, probably not. But I didn't want to have that.
Nice. That's a nice one. Anybody else have anything? Listings are king. Ready? Okay, so these are the active listings in our office that we're gonna share every week with you guys. So just as a reminder of what we have out there, that is currently active. So there's 2 things you can do with this. Obviously, look at it, and make sure you're on top of the inventory for your clients. But secondly, if you're looking for an open house opportunity, reach out to one of these agents and see if there's something that you can do, right? Remember, you could do Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays. So it gives you, what's exactly active in the market. Right, so following this, oh my God, I finished on time for once in my life. I can't even believe. Anthony's like, damn it, you were supposed to finish late, so we'd be ready for the lunch and learn. So what time is our lunch and learn starting at? 11:30. 11:30, so give you time to use the ladies' room, the men's room. Peter me. Peter.
Better person. Yeah.
Sure.
Yes, very nice. It does.
I put a lot in this meeting. A big winner last year. Yeah.
Blanket, I mean.
Which one? That's why. Everyone's doing it. You can open up.
Someone asked about, oh, here's my husband. And they didn't want to work with it, they said that we had the is what gets. Okay, so what's the status?
Keep looking.
Yeah.
I'll call next year.
He's in Canada.
Next week. After the storm.
Awesome. Yes. I know he's looking forward to.